Are you a brewer looking to open, grow, or plan your next move? I'm Ted Zeller, liquor law attorney at Norris McLaughlin. I've spent my career working with breweries, helping them navigate the regulations that come with this industry at the municipal, county, state, and federal levels. From first permits to expansion into new markets, my team serves as legal counsel on licensing, compliance, and distribution. If you're ready to plan your next move or need legal guidance, I am here to help. Feel free to call me at 484-765-2220 or email me at tzeller@norris-law.com.
New Belgium, Stone, Sierra Nevada. What do they all stand on? Cascade Floors. Family owned and laying down brewery floors since 1971, Cascade builds urethane epoxy and polyester systems engineered for exactly what a brewhouse throws at them. Thermal shock, caustic washdowns, forklifts, and constant abrasion. Cascade floors and walls stay sanitary, slip resistant, and standing for years. With a Philadelphia-based rep and breweries served across 25 states, Firestone Walker, Ballast Point, Russian River, Cascade is the crew that the best in the industry already trust. For floors that work as hard as you do, call Cascade Floors at 503-769-6823 or visit cascadefloors.com.
Automation's great when it's great.
Yeah.
Automation is terrible when something goes wrong and like the system doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Today I came in and I knew that we were emptying our silos.
Yeah.
It's a lot of our base. So if I get out of the car and the mill's still running, I'm like, oh, no. Gotta go figure that out. One thing that happened, the pump was, so on Sundays, like somebody comes in and just does like minimal work and they turn the hot liquor pump back on.
Yeah.
It was turned on to the wrong position. And so I get in and like the beer's supposed to be boiling. It's still in the mashing in stage. And I'm like, what's going on? And I look at the screen, I'm like, it says there's no water in the kettle. What does that mean? I go and I look in, it's just a bunch of grain right at the bottom of the kettle. And I'm like, oh, there's no water in the kettle. And it took me time to kind of figure out like what was going on. I actually had to call like our maintenance guy and he's like, it sounds like the pump's on wrong. And I'm like, oh, that was fun. But
well, it's probably best case scenario. I mean, like the beer was not ruined. I'm sure it was a huge pain in the ass, but
it was a big pain. Luckily, everything went well and the beer ended up completely fine. But when you look into a kettle and you see like 2,000 pounds of grain and no water, you're just like, what? Like I just got here and I just woke up like an hour and a half ago. What is going on?
welcome back to BrewedAt podcast. I'm your host, Richie Tevlin, joined as always by Evan Blum.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's been a while.
For us, not for you guys.
Yeah, for us, it's been 3 months, but finally back in here. Feels good to get back. Welcome, Jacky Rice from Sly Fox and Pink Boots.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So you seem to be all over the place. I know at CBC, was that at CBC that you did was it a new pour event?
Yeah, so that was the Sunday right before CBC. We did a new pour to raise money for Pink Boots Society,
nice.
Right at the German Society there.
Nice. So I guess we'll get into that. We want to talk about everything, Sly Fox, what you're doing. But, I mean, I guess what we do with everybody is kind of like the origin story. Do you have a unique origin story? Like, how did you kind of get, I guess, bit by the craft beer bug?
I mean, I don't know if it's unique. I kind of started out first kind of bartending. So I went to college. I was bartending for like, to pay rent and whatnot. Yeah. And so then I started getting into like beer when I turned 21 and I was working at like a craft beer place. And I got like really nerdy with it where I would like write down notes and then I'd go on to Beer Advocate. That was my go-to one to check out beer notes.
Is that craft beer bar still around?
It was a craft tap house in the Exton Mall. Okay. It was Red Star. No, I think the mall's actually like going to be condemned here soon. So no. I then went to a brewery in Westchester because that's where I was going at the time, called Boxcar Brewpub. Again, RIP.
Yeah.
And there I got into home brewing and I got bit by like the home brewing bug. And then I was like, I really want to get into the brewing industry, like not the front of house side. I really want to do production side. And it took me forever to try and get into that. And I was like, during the time, this was like the mid 2010s. I'm like, what's the best way to like, get into the craft beer industry? And there's no
There is no good way.
no. And that was the annoying part because I'm like, just give me an answer and I'll do it so I can start my path now. So I decided to get a bio degree. I was bartending full time still at the same time. And from there, I got into quality at Sam Adams. I then got the opportunity to brew it was Chatty Monks when I started, changed to Pagoda City. And now I'm over brewing at Sly Fox.
Nice. Were you with Irina?
I love Irina.
Nice. Yeah, she used to be my manager at Victory.
Oh, tell me all the worst things about her.
No, she was fun. She's very knowledgeable, and it was a fun time at Victory. We were very busy that then. But awesome. So, I guess what was your job like at Sam Adams? That like more? Because I know Sam Adams does a ton of stuff. Was it mostly beer stuff there? Was it twisted teas? I mean, what sort of job were you doing for quality assurance there?
So in quality, I was mainly on the packaging side. What we probably the most would be removing at first because it was right out of COVID.
Yeah.
The whole seltzer craze. White
Truly's,
Fox.
right?
Yeah, we were pushing the Truly's real hard, and he thought that was our Boston Beer thought that was going to be their big push, but then it ended up being Twisted Tea that really was doing the most, legwork at the time.
Yeah. I had some friend from college I was working on, they were trying to get Truly's into kegs. And like the seltzers in kegs.
Oh, yeah,
and
we
that
did that.
really caught on.
It didn't catch on, but I remember for quality, we go pick up when they would keg, they'd pull a sample off of like one of the test kegs and we'd bring it back. So they did it. It wasn't a lot.
It's so weird that it doesn't work though. I mean, like for beer, it works perfectly, but people are just kind of turned away by like drinking seltzer or hard tea on draft for some reason. Like you never see it anywhere.
No, and what we would do for Twisted Teas mostly, that we really wouldn't do a lot of kegs, mainly because of like the CO2. Like you'd have to have it on nitrogen strictly.
Yeah.
We would do bag in a box.
Okay.
And like I remember, so I'm actually from like where the Appalachian like mountains start.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, it's a place called Kempton. And like all the dive bars would have the like, bag in a boxes. And it would just be like, it'd be like slap in the bag. It'd be a wine box and they would just pour it into a glass full of ice.
Yeah. That's like the original hard tea is like the hoop tea.
Mm-hmm.
And they
There's
still
the
see
tea.
those, in like the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you were in Sam Adams, I told you outside, and I think listeners probably know, I worked at Nestle right across the street. And one of my favorite perks of the job was we could take home cases of water whenever we wanted. Did that happen at Sam Adams?
So we were guaranteed you could pick, it was 24 cases a year. You could pick them up anytime you wanted. You get all 24 in January if you really wanted. I did 2 per month. And then what they would also do is it wasn't guaranteed, but almost every month they'd have they would either have stuff that was there may have been some sort of product issue, like misprint or something. I remember, I think it was the first summer I worked, it was I got my 2 guaranteed cases. And then they're like, you can get 4 cases, 2 of these Dogfish Head, 1 of these Sam Adams, and 1 of these Trulies. And it's just come and get them. You just have them. So it was 1 month I took home 6 cases.
It's like the larger you get, your liquid becomes so cheap for you that it's you just get unlimited alcohol essentially. It's working in a large space.
The one fun one was it was right now they didn't work out, but there was big hype behind the Mountain Dews they did.
Oh yeah. They made Mountain Dew,
just like a hard Mountain Dew.
Hard Mountain Dew. I think where they fell off was think about what kind of people drink Mountain Dew and what do they expect from it? They expect caffeine and sugar. Well, obviously you can't have caffeine in them, and they were sugar free. So they just tasted the aspartame. I think if they would have gone straight sugar and done a non-low calorie
Locos are blowing up right now.
They don't have the caffeine though, right?
They don't have the caffeine, but Four Locos are one of the fastest growing, large alcohol brands in the country right now.
And we always talk about Gen Z letting us down.
Yeah.
That.
They're also making 9 Locos now, which are they're licensing out their name, and there's some other company making a weed drink with it called 9 Locos.
Ooh, that's something.
That's fun.
Yeah, very fun. So you were doing quality assurance there. Was the plan always to get in more of a brewing role, or just a job opened up at Pagoda City for more of a production side role?
So
Not that quality assurance is not production.
Yeah.
Because it is essential in production, but more hands-on production.
when I started, like I said, I had a hard time getting into the industry. Like I was essentially telling people that I knew were brewers, especially when they came into the bar I was working at. I'm like, I'll work for free for you. Like I have off Mondays and Tuesdays. I work, Wednesdays through Sundays. And nobody even wanted to take me as free work, which it was kind of a bummer. So that's the only reason I went with the educational route is it seemed like nobody wanted, just to have come in and work for them for free.
Yeah.
You can break that down as much as you want. I have my theories, this, that, and the other. But then I decided to go with the educational route, and that's what helped me get into Sam Adams on the quality side. Like I always wanted to brew. I was home brewing. I loved looking up recipes, learning about all that stuff. But it was just hard. Like Sam Adams, they like to find educated people for their quality side.
Yeah.
And Sam Adams was a great company to work for. They do actually pay decently for the industry and have great benefits.
Yeah.
So the plan was always to get into the brewing side. It's just that's what opened the door for me and got me into the craft beer industry.
Yeah. What about your homebrewing career? Is that still alive and well, or did that get retired when you started brewing professionally?
So it lasted a little bit when I was at Pagoda City, and then it went on pause. And now it's coming back. I'm bringing it back. I moved into a new place, and we're setting up a homebrew setup in our basement.
Nice.
So right now I'm making these we need a hood, or else there's going to be just steam in our basement. That's hold it. So I'm making this makeshift hood right now out of cardboard and waterproof duct tape.
Yeah.
Ask me how it works when I'm done with it.
You should ask. I think Ryan C's from Warwick. I think that he and his dad over one weekend built a hood system in their basement. And they had the same issue, and they built it by hand.
Weld?
They had some sort of knowledge on something, but I think that they put a trough upside down or something. Use that as a hood. Don't quote me on this. Maybe I'm making this up. I'm sorry. I made this up, but I know they did some jerry rig something together.
I'll have to ask him next time I see him.
Cool. So what kind of stuff are you making then, home brewing wise, or what kind of stuff do you want to make now?
So I love West Coast IPAs. I don't care how much I get made fun of for it. I found my dream recipe that I really liked, that I perfected, but I kind of just want to cover all the bases. I want to make something good from all the basic styles that you can think of, just so I have a good portfolio.
Mm-hmm. Do you like funky stuff or?
I like funky stuff. Yeah. I as far as sours go, I cover all these.
You have a biology degree, so I feel like you kind of understand the microbes and stuff.
Yeah, but have you ever talked to anyone from spontaneous fermentation breweries? And it's half the time they're it's art and just waiting. It's try it and hope that it's good at some point. And if it's not good, just let it sit a little bit longer.
Yeah. I don't have, I get too stressed out for that. I need instant
Gratification.
Instant feedback, whether it's drinkable or not.
Yeah.
Cool. So when you got over to Pagoda City, did you step in as a brewer, cellar person? What was your role right there?
So John Stemler was there at the time, and that's who I worked under. I know that he's been on here before.
Yeah.
He kind of just wanted everyone to be able to do everything, which was great for me. I actually got it through Pink Boots is how I got to start there. I was actually working part-time at Pagoda City and full-time at Sam Adams.
Those are, how far away are those from each other? Aren't those pretty far away?
They are, but where I was living, it was kind of like a triangle from there. So it was... Well, actually, I was closer to Sam Adams. It was 25 minutes there and then 40 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was there, he wanted everybody to be able to do everything, that really worked out for me. That was awesome. He wasn't very good at directing in the right directions. He was I just want you to know everything, but wasn't good at being this is what you need to know.
Yeah.
But then I worked with a couple other awesome people that had brewing background, like Irina.
Cool.
Mark, he was the first brewer at Mark Thomas, first brewer at Vault. And then he was at Stable 12 for a little bit.
Cool.
And I got a little bit direction there. So from there, mainly I started in cellaring, and then I got to learn on their brew house.
How big is their brew house?
It's a 7-barrel.
Nice.
It's a mash louder combo and then a kettle whirlpool combo.
Cool.
That system was awesome. I loved that system.
Was it automated at all?
So it had a couple pneumatic valves, but you had to know exactly what valves to open to do like what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
But it was like half pneumatic, half physical. So you kind of had to like in your head be like, I got to do this, and then I got to run down there and do this, and it's like I got to open 5 valves. What are they, and what order are they in?
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was part of the brewing process a lot on that system.
Definitely. And then, so you were there, what, for 2 years, 3 years?
2.5 years.
Okay. And
Have
then,
you close? Yeah, 2.5.
and then what are you doing now at Sly Fox? Is it the same thing? You're doing everything there? Like, how is Sly Fox set up as far as brewing? Because we had Ryan and Keith on, but they were sales. So you're like our first passion for some Sly Fox. So like, what's the Sly Fox brewing system? Like, kind of, can you give us a little feedback on like how big it is? You know, what the deal is with it?
Okay, so at Sly Fox, when I stepped into my role, I luckily got to be strictly on the brewing side. So when I started, I was going to learn about brewing. I mean, I already know how to clean tanks and do like your cellaring work and whatnot. Packaging, it was like, you're going to go over there only if they really need help and you don't need to brew, which sign me up. I ran the canning line at Pagoda City and I threw so many cans. It made me so mad. Like, thank you. What we have is actually a very automated system. It's a Braucon. It's from Germany. It's considered 50 hectoliters, so that translates to like 42 barrels or so.
That's pretty big.
It is.
Much bigger than 7.
Yes,
Yeah.
much bigger. We do a lot of contracting, so that's the big thing.
Cool.
But it's very automated. You can load, if you load everything the night before for like, if we have to do a triple brew day, that's like a turn and burn. Like you get in, you keep moving.
Yeah.
And then you need to like pretty much when I get in, the first beer is in the boil, either in the beginning or the middle of the boil. And I have to stand the wort way. And then we do cone to cone pitches.
Yeah.
So when we do a fresh yeast, we grow it up and I think this one yeast, we got up to like 28 generations.
Wow.
It still was like 80, 90 some percent vitality. It was doing great. But you pretty much do that. And then you have to like, send it over to the whirlpool. Because what we have is a kettle lauter. So your kettle's both your mash and your boil kettle.
Yeah.
And then we have a whirlpool. So once you get to the whirlpool, it's like, all right, start mashing in the next one. And then you're knocking out while you're usually in your rest. And you keep that going. And then when you get to your third one, you do the same thing over and over again.
So are you like driving into work every day? Like, shit, what is happening right now? Like, or is it pretty reliable?
There's some days like when things go great, automation's great when it's great.
Yeah.
Automation is terrible when something goes wrong and like the system doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So one easy one, like today I came in and I knew that we were emptying our silos because we don't use our specialty malt's bagged malt, but for our, like we use 2-row and Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's a lot of our base. So if I get out of the car and the mill's still running, I'm like, gotta go figure that out while sanding the wort weight, pitching these, getting the kegger ready and all this. One thing that happened, and this was fun. The pump was, so on Sundays, like somebody comes in and just does like minimal work and they turn the hot liquor pump back on.
Yeah.
It was turned on to the wrong position. And so I get in and like the beer's supposed to be boiling. It's still in the mashing in stage. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I'm so confused. And I look at the screen. I'm like, it says there's no water in the kettle. What does that mean? I go and I look in, it's just a bunch of grain right at the bottom of the kettle. And I'm like, oh, there's no water in the kettle. And it took me time to kind of figure out like what was going on. And then when I actually had to call like our maintenance guy and he's like, it sounds like the pump's on wrong. And I'm like, oh, that was fun. But
Well, it's probably best case scenario. I mean, like the beer was not ruined. It wasn't like it was just sitting there mashing for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, nothing going on. Like you could just add the water. I'm sure it's a huge pain in the ass, but
it was a big pain. It was a huge pain. Luckily, everything went well and the beer ended up completely fine. But when you look into a kettle and you see like 2,000 pounds of grain and no water, you're just like, what? Like, I just got here and I just woke up like an hour and a half ago. What is going on?
yeah. So you brought some beers in, which are your hands on any like the recipes for these? Because some of them are new to me. The Bohemian Gold and the Keller I've not had.
Yeah. So everyone knows usually the Helles and the Pike are traditional, like, German beers and whatnot. The Bohemian Gold has been around for a little bit. It's more of a seasonal one. We release it in the springtime, like Goat Races is around the time that it comes out. And Goat Races is the first Sunday of May.
Goat Races are the best.
They are. The Coastal Quest is our I think when I started 2.5 years ago, that was our first, 2 years ago, our first flagship recipe that we had, I think, since Brian O'Reilly left.
Okay.
And then the Kellerbier is actually, that is my recipe.
Awesome.
It was a Pink Boots collaboration that I did. I was inspired by a Kellerbier that I had in Germany. And then we held our big Pink Boots collaboration day, March 6th this year. So as close to International Women's Day as possible. And I had the whole Philadelphia crew there. We did a full brew from beginning to end, walked them through the recipe. It's a lot of fun. A lot of like the newbies love to see and people who haven't been to the Sly Fox facility like to check it out, hang around and do that. And then like some of the people who've been around for a while just like to show up and just chat. And they're like, you guys can go brew. We're going to stay back and, just chat. We've seen brewing before.
Nice.
Go ahead. The artwork's different on this one. Is that because it's a collab beer, or how does that work? Like from a Sly Fox side, because I feel like the artwork that you guys have is pretty distinct.
Yeah.
You have a really your own style. So what makes that one go that way? I guess
That one's different because since that one was the Pink Boots collaboration, and this was like a one and done.
Okay.
And we had asked for them to be cans. We had somebody who's working there right now. She made up the art, and it's just a specialty one for this can, and it was also specially made for our event right before CBC in Newport.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's just specially made for that event. And I asked her, I came to her with artwork, and I'm like, I'm not an artistic person. I'm like, can you put this together and make something cool out of this? And I think that she nailed it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
With that.
What was and your trip to where was it? Germany?
Yes.
That was through the Pink Boots?
Yes.
What was that? You won an award, or how did that come about?
So through Pink Boots Society, for anyone who doesn't know, Pink Boots Society is for women and non-binary people in the fermentation beverage industry. And we like to help people excel through their career, usually through education. We offer a lot of scholarships.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to win a scholarship through, there's Trips Beer Trips.
Yep.
He works with Pink Boots a lot. Really awesome guy.
Wait, what's his? Is it guy?
Trip Salzer.
His name is Trip?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what his first name is, but he's the third. So he goes by Triple Trip.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
that's funny.
He works for the hop company out in Germany, right?
He does a lot of things. He wears a lot of hats.
Yeah.
He's been in the industry for a while. And I think me and the other Philly leadership, our tagline to him is "Trip is a trip." He is a trip. He is always doing something. I can't believe that he's always active. I'm like, how do you do it? I have no idea. But I applied for a scholarship, and it was, they had a couple for, I think that they put it out to the Boston chapter, Texas. There were a couple other, I'm trying to think, San Diego and a few other chapters, and our chapter was one of them too.
Cool.
And so me and a quality person from Yards, Rachel Brun, we were able to go to Germany, and we did a sensory intensive 5-day trip where we got to go to the Technical University of Munich, and that shares a campus with the Weinstefaner. So we got to do 2 days of sensory intensive training. And then
What
we
was
got
that?
to-
It was trying raw materials and stuff, or was that just drinking a lot of beer?
It was mainly drinking beer and trying to identify a bunch of off flavors, and then also being able to be given a beer in a black cup that you can't see through and being able to tell what beer it was.
Cool.
So a blind tasting. And then the next 2 days, we got to go to a malt facility. It's IREX. They do a lot of bakery stuff mostly. And then we got to go to a hop farm as well.
Cool. Nice.
What's the picking process for them like? Did you have to apply or submit an essay or something? How does that work?
Yeah, so most of the scholarships for Pink Boots, you do have to apply for it. They don't just pick people out, and it's because then that would show favoritism. But you have to kind of as blindly as you can fill out the scholarship application and just pretty much explain why this would help you excel into your career. They don't just have it for beer. I mean, Pink Boots used to strictly just be for people in the brewing industry. It's opened up more now. So there's also a bunch of scholarships for ciders and wines, and there's a lot more scholarships that are opening up for Pink Boots people.
Yeah, I think the whole alcohol industry is moving more towards this generalized alcohol, and I think everyone needs to lean more into that. There's so many outside factors out right now that are attacking alcohol. We need to team up.
It's Untapped adding soda and ciders and everything too.
Well, yeah,
I was like, wow, that's different.
it's funny.
Hey, brewery or small business owner. At the Beer Accountant, they understand the unique financial challenges of the craft brewing industry. Are you tired of navigating complex brewery accounting and taxes on your own? Staying up late working on financials and getting your finances in order after a whole workday? They're a CPA dedicated to helping breweries like yours thrive, with services ranging from qualified bookkeeping, business tax prep, to strategic financial planning. Stop wasting time on spreadsheets and focus on what you do best, making great beer and running a small business. The Beer Accountant is led by Patrick McDonald, a CPA for 14 years. They are also the official CPA of the Brewers of PA, servicing over 50 breweries in 4 states. If you own a brewery or small business, stop overpaying for reactive support and start being proactive with the Beer Accountant. Don't brew that IPA without this CPA. Visit beeraccountant.com to learn how their specialized expertise can help your brewery grow, profit, and succeed. That's Beer Accountant at beeraccountant.com.
But you had what? You had a Kellerbier there, or how did this come about? You were just drinking a lot of them over there?
So it was, I think the first day it was my second day there, because the first day I went, I met up with a bunch of other people that had won the scholarship.
Yeah.
Went to Munich, had a blast, had a phenomenal time. And then we were in Freising, which is where the Weinstefaner is. And our first meal, because a lot of the stuff on this trip through Trips Beer Trips is provided by what you like, your upfront payment, and like a lot of the meals were included. So we were at the Weinstefaner Beer Garden, completely beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I ordered the 1516 Kellerbier, which is supposed to be the same year as, the Reinheitsgebot.
Yeah.
And so it came out, it was darker than what the Kellerbier ended up being, but it was like really rustic and just like, I don't know, it just got me. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like this is what a Kellerbier should be. Even though Kellerbier is such a broad category, having that, I'm like, this is what a Kellerbier should be.
Can you describe to our listeners what a Kellerbier is? Because I think that like there's so much talk now about lager beers and all this other stuff. And Kellerbier is a great way for people to not make a lager, but it's still very drinkable.
So if you really break down a Kellerbier, it translates into a cellar beer. Very general, but for the most part, when people think about a cellar beer or when a lot of brewers are making it, it's like a young lager. So it's a lager that usually tends to be a little bit hazier because you're not letting everything fall out of it.
Yeah.
It tends to, in my opinion, like I said, rustic. It tends to have different flavors to it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's not as clean, but it definitely has more mineraliness to it since you're getting it a little bit young. I just think that a lot of times they tend to be a little bit darker, but technically you could have like a Helles Keller if you really wanted to. I do think that the haziness from pulling it early does help add a little bit more color to it.
Definitely. It's a little bit more character to it. And I think you can do a little bit more to it than just like a straight up Pilsner or like, Helles Lager. Nice. Are you guys going to be doing more of that? I mean, this beer, we haven't had it yet. I imagine it's great. What am I drinking now? Bohemian Gold?
Bohemian Gold, yeah.
After this, I'm going to try that. Is that something that I imagine did pretty well?
I mean, I actually couldn't get you guys a full 6-pack because we were completely out of that. Yeah. So I'm hoping so. I was kind of told that, like, when the time happens, like when we actually have the opportunity, that I might be able to, like, make more beers that are my recipes. But it's just really hard. We are a contract brewery.
Yeah.
So we're like turning, burning like as much as we can when we need. And the other thing that really drives a lot of our schedule is our yeast. Since we do pitch cone to cone, that means that you usually have to pitch your yeast every week.
Yeah.
So we're really driven by pushing that's how our schedule is driven. It's by a lot of our contracts and by pitching our yeast and making sure we keep that stuff going. There's a lot more to it than that. Lucky me, I'm brewing and I'm just told what to make instead of trying to finagle a schedule.
Well, Sly Fox has historically been like the lager brewery. Like Sly Fox and Victory have been like the 2 lager breweries in the Philadelphia area. So it would be cool to kind of like, this is another angle on that, like a more traditional style.
It's just hard because like when I said I wanted to name it a Kellerbier, everybody's like, that's not going to sell.
That's
you did name it something different. Like, that's not going to sell. It's a Kellerbier. Who wants a Kellerbier?
Well, you can say the same thing about like a lot of these different lager styles 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's like the haze craze, and now it's like finally the haze craze is dying down, and everyone was like, nobody ever wants lagers ever, and it's like, wow, I'm glad you guys were wrong. I still have my job.
You mentioned earlier that you like West Coast IPAs, and I'm feeling the same way about West Coast IPAs. I'll put out a hazy IPA, and everyone says they want a West Coast IPA, and it's like, all right, I thought West Coast IPAs weren't cool, and now people are liking them again. Kind of everything is like coming back. I like it. It's like more the traditional style. So
I just don't think you're ever going to please anyone. I think that everyone's going to have something to complain about just because. And like I've seen that a lot with like beer drinkers, and it's just like, just enjoy the beer for what it is. And you're like, oh no, I just want a hazy.
beer is one of those things where like if I made anything else and I showed like potential customer, they would like, even if they didn't like it, they would say something nice to me. There's sometimes I'm doing tastings and these people will just like drink the beer and like, oh, this sucks. Like, in what other situation would like that would be like a acceptable response to me giving you something? But I think beer just brings out like it's very people have opinions. It's like a very opinionated thing.
Yes, I consider a lot of beer drinkers to be very opinionated.
Yes.
I know when I'm at Beer Fest, it drives me nuts when like people come up and they try try the beer that I'm pouring, and they kind of just like look at you and they're like, and then they just walk away with like that look on their face. Because it's like, I don't mean to say like Sly Fox beer is great because I work there, but like they are known as a lager brewery. We put out clean lagers. So it's not like you're drinking something that like we do diacetyl rest. You're not drinking a butter bomb. You're not drinking anything that's bad. We do everything like within codes and whatnot. So it's not like, I know the beer isn't terrible.
Yeah. But I think everything that you like food, alcohol, drinks, it's just like everyone, it has an opinion about, but that's kind of what makes it fun, I guess. Just everyone has different tastes.
Yeah.
Nice. So what are you doing now at Pink Boots? Are you part of the leadership there, or are you getting more involved with that? I know you put on the new pour event, but is that kind of the first thing that you've been involved with as far as organization with them?
So I've been on the leadership team for about a year now.
Cool.
Don't really have a title. I kind of started as Brewing Liaison. And
just to let you know, I think it's expected that you are now going to be like the national president in the next couple of years, because it seems like the Philadelphia chapter has like the roadmap.
Bring in Erin.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't put me on the spot like that. I mean, I'd love to see her, but not on the spot like that.
Yeah.
Pretty much right now, I mean, it really was balls to the walls with a new pour and that event that we did. It felt like I was just constantly doing stuff. I was like, our leadership team was constantly talking. It was like every day there was something or for something. I feel like it's really died down now. And I do think, especially with a lot of other breweries and places, like they just had like, we just had Cider Fest and stuff. And then you have all these other events. So everyone's just stretched thin. So it's not like we really get to see each other that much.
Yeah.
But Pink Boots is always doing something. We do monthly meetings. And so our next monthly meeting is going to be, I believe, July 22nd, actually in combo with New Jersey. So now,
you guys are doing a joint.
I think it's just we're doing one joints.
Cool.
Oh, is that what the conference going on in Jersey? No.
No, I don't know anything about that. No.
Different thing.
We're doing, well, I should just say this in case there's anybody listening who wants to be part of Pink Boots. We also did open up our memberships to homebrewers as well. So it's open to homebrewers too, if anyone is interested. But we are hosting I believe, New Jersey and Philly combination July 22nd. I think it's 7 p.m. or so. And that information can be found on pinkbootsociety.org. But as far as like everything we're doing, like we have monthly meetings every month. We have monthly meetings, and like we're gonna have that July one. Every August we do a hop farm one at Fawn Hop Hill Yard.
Cool.
You know about them.
Mm-hmm.
They're really cool. And we just cycle through everything as far as all that stuff kind of goes. We try to give all of our members an opportunity, if they want to host, to be able to host at their place and tell us what they do. We also have to keep in mind that it's not just production staff that are in Pink Boots. So we have people that do sales. Our last one was at U Bar, which is a bar in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so it was talking about sort of diversity and inclusion and, just a ode to Pride Month and whatnot.
Cool. Yeah. We try to have a lot of like Pink Boots and MJF, and there's like, I think those are the two kind of strongest organizations right now, because as far as the scholarships go and like just the community involvement, everything, it's like
and pushing like the message to new people is huge. Just like how do you want an industry to grow? It's reach new people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what Pink Boots and MJF does.
It's cool that you guys are bringing on home brewers. I think the home brewers really drove the growth of the craft beer for many years. And like I think, I mean, you saw like in the last 5 years, so many of the homebrew shops have closed or resized. And I think like kind of trying to build that community back up will only like just help the commercial breweries.
Yeah. I mean, I know just from just general in the craft beer industry, it's just with Pink Boots, it's like you have to keep wanting people to come in. I mean, you can't just, if you don't, it's just gonna get stagnant. That's kind of like what we're suffering from right now. So I do think a lot, this isn't just Pink Boots related, but I feel like a lot of the beer industry, everybody got kind of like snobby. And like when I was trying to get in, it was almost like nobody wanted to listen to anything I had to say about craft beer because I was a young woman. And so it's like you have to invite these people in or it's not going to go too well for us later on.
It bothers me so much. It's like people just like, it's like old men yelling at clouds. And it's just like, you're hurting yourself. It's like if you're not bringing on the new generation, I think that's what craft beer is all about, like being open and bringing people in and like bringing on the new generation. And it seems like in the last 5-10 years, like that has kind of gone away. It has become very snobbish and, it just kind of turned in on itself.
It's all these brewers just want to sit and complain and be like, nobody wants to drink craft beer. Nobody wants to drink craft beer. This and that. And then like a home brewer comes and talks to them and then they walk away. They're like, oh, I can't stand home brew. So it's like, you're not helping yourself. Like you were just complaining about how nobody wants to be into craft beer. And then you want to turn your nose up at these home brewers or you just like, you don't want to have conversations with people. Like I understand introverted brewers, but like if you're complaining about it, like try to make a difference. I mean, honestly, that's why we put on a new pour is, and
who comes to Newport? Is that just an open event or was that for like production members?
So a new pour, we posted it around the Craft Brewers Conference.
Yeah.
For the day before. We were focusing on the Craft Brewers Conference, just this idea that we could bring in a bunch of Pink Boots members that were coming, a bunch of people that were going to CBC.
Yeah.
And it was open to the public. And if we do it again, we're kind of in talks of that. We're not too sure right now. It probably would be at a different time than April. We really just aim for that time due to
because everything else is happening. Yeah, like that captive audience.
And we just like my whole thing was like when I went to Germany, I was like I had such a great time. I met these people from San Diego, Texas, Massachusetts, all over the place. I had so much fun. They were all really enthusiastic, like Pink Boots members in brewing.
Yeah.
And it just like it kind of like rejuvenated me because I feel like a lot of brewers get burnout. And I was kind of going through burnout. Like I wasn't going to apply to that scholarship because I'm like, oh, there's so many people in the chat.
Yeah.
Like, how am I ever going to win that?
I think for production brewers, it's really hard because you're going in, you're working early hours. What time do you get into work every day? Like 5 a.m.?
5 or 6.
5 or 6 a.m. And it's like, I think for production, you need to go out and you need to talk to customers or get in front of stuff or do different, things like this where you go to Germany or do different trips to just kind of like keep everybody engaged. Kind of like take a step back and realize like why you're doing it.
And I mean, before I went to Germany, I wasn't on the leadership team. And it's just kind of like once I went and I got on the leadership team, I'm like, I want everyone else to feel the way that I did.
Yeah.
So this whole event came about with me being like, I want people to be excited to be in Pink Boots. I want people to be excited about the brewing industry again. Like, even though it is the way it is, we can make it better. That's another thing that I complain about is when people complain and they just don't want to try. They just want to keep complaining. It's like, let's try. Let's put this event on. Let's get people excited. I know that everyone that participated had a great time, especially the Pink Boots members. We had Pink Boots people from all over the nation. Even I think we had some come from the Latin American chapter.
Cool.
Which was really cool. And so
speaking of, Triple Bottom now has South Philly Barbacoa now.
I saw that.
That's cool.
We have Lauren's a member of Pink Boots. I think she's the GM right now or
cool
along those lines. So yeah, it was just really to get everyone excited and like get everyone like, hey, craft beer, there's a reason to be in craft beer. The other part of being in Germany is I saw how like everyone talks to you about how German beers are so great. And I'm like, yeah, they're probably good, but they're not like astoundingly good. And then I go and I have one and like everyone talks about like, every brewery has their own, like, every town has their own brewery, like all these beer gardens. And it's like, it's truly a community and it is really amazing beer. But I just wanted to bring everybody together and be like, I was inspired by community. Let's all work together. Let's inspire each other. And let's just, our tagline was let's lift each other up one pour at a time.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that was the whole push for a new pour.
So when we were there, you also had like these hop queens come in.
Yeah.
What can you explain that?
All right,
Like,
so the
I
hop
would say
queens.
probably most people don't know what that is, me included.
So when I said trip is a trip from Trips Beer Trips, I feel like I'm like, giving him a tagline right now. Like every time like I'm like holding a Coke up to the camera. He contacted me and he had a booth there. He was actually I think our biggest sponsor. He's like, yo, I'm bringing in people from Germany that, are part of different hop organizations. And it was a hop queen that he's like, I can have the hop queens there, like walking around in their whole outfits. And they were also at CBC that a lot of people should have seen. The whole thing behind becoming a hop queen is in Germany, each hop region, they hold their own like little competition where people involved, like young women that are involved in the hop growing industry. It's usually like, farmers' daughters, people like, going on to take on like farm, like that kind of stuff. They go through, and I don't know everything that they have to do, but they probably have to do like a speech, like do like I know they walk out in like the traditional, like, German outfits. I don't know the names of those, so don't be mad at me for that. And
Lederhosens, but
that's guys.
I know what you're talking about. I have no idea what they're called, but
so they do that, and then they get crowned to be a hop queen, and it changes, I believe, every year. I don't think it's every two.
they get an actual crown.
Yeah, they make hop crowns like the day. I think they make hop crowns the day of, but like then they get like, a crown they wear around when they go other places. And then they just become sort of a spokesperson for who's ever in charge of that hop region there. So he was able to get the hop queens like to come and hang out for
Nice.
that event, which was really, really cool.
Speaking of farms, did you grow up on a farm?
I did grow up on a farm, yes.
What kind of farm was that?
Dairy
A
farm.
dairy farm.
Yes.
Nice. Were there dairy queens? Like,
So yes, there were dairy queens.
but and it's like I realized this name of a restaurant, but I imagine all farming communities have like things that like pull the community together.
Yeah, so our one big thing
I'm sure there are dairy queens around you too, but
here's my brag right here. So I'm from it's not even a town. It's considered like a township. It's called Kempton.
okay.
And so it's right at the base of Hawk Mountain.
Yeah.
It's right near like,
I went to Hawk Mountain once. I didn't see a single hawk, by the way.
did you go during the hawk migrations?
I forget, but I remember we drove all the way up there and we didn't see a single bird.
You didn't look into.
There was like 100 people up there too. There were so many people.
It probably was hawk
like,
migration.
Yeah.
You went during a bad time. They do a count. You can walk up and it'll tell you how many hawks came in.
Should have looked beforehand, but
Yeah, you need to go during it.
it was still a nice hike, but yeah.
Reach out to me and I'll tell you when the good times are. We have a fair, and it's just like your local state, like your local country fair that you have.
Yeah.
And I was the Kempton Fair Queen one year, so that's my little brag right there. And my little sister was the Fair Queen like 4 years later as well.
Nice.
So what did I do for that? I did a speech about how great Kempton and the Kempton Fair is.
Nice. How involved were you? Was it like was it a big farm? Like were you actually doing farm work every day?
Yeah, so I started working on the farm sometime in middle school, and my parents were it was 3 milkings a day. It was 80 to 100 cows.
Wow. How long does
probably.
how long does milking one cow? And is it literally just milking by hand?
No.
Or you're like they
No, we got machines.
all right.
And actually, a lot of farming translates over to brewing a lot when you think
sure.
about the equipment. For a cow, I think it takes like anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much milk they produce and how
imagine-
easy the milk comes out.
I'd imagine milk is way more intense because you can get sick from it.
Oh yeah, there's way more government agencies involved, and there's way more sanitation that is required. You're also I'd say you're dealing with definitely harsher chemicals.
Okay.
As far as all that stuff goes, I was probably doing it was 3 times a day. And I was probably doing like 4 shifts a week. I was a lot on like the weekend shifts and whatnot. As far as the crossover with dairy farming to brewing, I mean, you got your stainless steel.
Yeah.
I was playing with tri-clamps like when I was.
I mean, all brewing equipment used to be dairy equipment.
Yes. And I mean, apparently I heard that Germans like pay homage to that and they understand that a lot. You're dealing with sanitary welding. You're dealing with filters, plate coolers. We call them heat exchangers in the brewing industry. I used to call it a plate cooler. And then a lot of stuff like fluid dynamics, a lot of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of crossover, like pumps. I understood pumps before, like, getting into the brewing industry and stuff like that.
Yeah, you probably graduated and got into brewing, and then everyone else like, I don't know how to use a tri clamp.
And I'm like,
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate how much brewing is just maintenance and just maintaining equipment. And I imagine you probably had a leg up on everybody on that.
I might not be the perfect maintenance person, but I can get something to run if it has to.
Yeah.
Is it running well? No. We have a maintenance guy at Sly Fox, so I don't need to worry about that.
That's good. Another benefit of working at a large company. Is
Yes.
when you're at a small company, it's like the benefits and, you're not brewing on a automatic system, but it is nice to have somebody that knows how to fix a pump.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our one maintenance guy knows how to fix like everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're lucky. Like, I was talking to a brewer whose pumps were just failing left and right, and they were only running on like one pump to like clean their tanks as well as like run their brewery. And I'm like,
And do the knockout. It's like your knockout pump.
yeah, I'm sitting there like, oh, we have like 2-3 asphyxiated pumps to the brewery, one to the canning line, and then we have like 3 free moving pumps. Like, I don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I knew what it was like at Pagoda City.
For when I was at Philadelphia Brewing, we're using it was like a mixing machine that we're using for a while. It was like our pump to pump everything around.
Oh boy. That sounds
Yeah.
sounds like innovation.
Yeah, a week. It was just like, it was very creative, but awesome. I guess, do you have anything that you're looking forward to at Sly Fox, or are there things coming up? Like, are they letting you kind of work on any more recipes?
Right now we're in our busy time. We just cranked out a bunch of Oktoberfest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when the recipe thing's gonna happen.
It's crazy, like, for brewing, like everyone's making their Oktoberfest beers now.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel at all like Oktoberfest.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to a good old Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
I mean, Sly Fox, we're always doing something, and it's really hard to know because we have so many locations what's going on. I also live quite far from Sly Fox. I am excited for the Oktoberfest. Like, I just like Oktoberfest in general.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I'm going off track with Sly Fox. But Alex Meixner, that plays the goat races, the accordion player.
Yeah.
So he plays at the Reading Liederkranz in Reading, PA. And it was a couple years, it was voted like #1 like Oktoberfest on the East Coast.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Now, if Sly Fox is pouring there, I'm really going to try to convince them to get me some tickets. Because sometimes I know they get their beer there.
How often are you going to do events and stuff? Are you pouring at festivals or anything?
Not too often. It's usually ones that are near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
So if something pops up and I'm like, I'm going to do that because like I'm friends with them, like Yaw Brewing, they do their fresh brews of Mount Joy.
Cool.
I like to do that one. It's in April. Although every time they have it, it rains. So I don't know why I love it so much. I get to get my 90s gear on and like go out and, pour.
What is it? It's like a 90s theme.
Yeah.
They're a 90s themed brewery, right? Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
So fresh brews of Mount Joy, because they're in Mount Joy. It's like, play on Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
They get like a 90s band and they start they have a bunch of bands that just crank all day. Right. And then everyone's walking around, like the people that are like bought tickets all have like 90s outfits on. So it's like great to see everyone's interpretation of the 90s. And like, it just makes me laugh because some people are wearing stuff and it's like, that's not the 90s.
Yeah, there's not the 90s. You just went to a thrift store and just throw it on crap.
And people were giving me shit one time, and I'm like, this was my mom's shirt in the 90s. Don't just start with it. Like, this was my mom's in the 90s. You don't know. Yeah.
That's fun.
But yeah, I don't do too many events, which is kind of beneficial. It's kind of nice that I don't have to. Because we have like our separate events people.
Okay, cool. How involved are you with because I know you guys have the tap rooms. Are you guys making, you guys don't have like, it's not like each tavern has its own brew pub, right? You guys are making all the beer for them?
So we have a couple different places that we brew. Phoenixville's one.
Okay.
We have...
They have a small brew suite?
Yeah, they still have. So
Okay.
I can't remember if they were OG, but like they are like when people talk about Sly Fox back in the day, it's the Phoenixville location.
Yeah.
So they have a brew house there. I don't really work on it that much.
But you have brewed on it?
I haven't brewed on that one, but it gets brewed on every year.
Okay, cool.
Every year gets brewed on a couple times a year. And then our facility, like I'm the main one that's turning and burning on our like 50 hectoliter, 42 barrel system. And then we're trying to get a small system up and running somewhere, like just a little 1 barrel. I saw the equipment.
In Pottstown? or somewhere
I
else?
think in Pottstown somewhere. I'm not sure. I shouldn't really speak on it, but
Yeah.
we're working on something there. So hopefully there will be 3. We had a Pittsburgh location that was the Brewpub, but now we're just down. We had 2 out there. Now we're just down to 1.
Nice. And I know you don't want to talk too much about it, but you guys are making, we had Not Pizza on. That's like quasi Sly Fox, right?
We make the products.
Okay.
It's technically a separate brand than Sly Fox.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like Not Pizza made by Sly Fox.
Yes.
So yeah, I've made that product before.
Yeah. It's cool though that because you're contract brewing, it's not just Sly Fox beers you guys are touching. You're also like touching all these other brands. Like when you go out, you're like, oh, I made that.
I've done that before. My favorite is being able to see, because even though we do lagers, like we make some hazies for
Yeah.
and like we're not supposed to talk about who we contract for, because I was told, Irina told me way back in the day, don't do that because some people don't like that.
Yeah.
So we were making this one beer, like we're making a couple beers for this client, and they're like really intense hazies.
Yeah.
Which really make the brew days long because it's insane louders. But then I'm getting to see like how that ends up on our system, and then being able to see how those recipes are built, just for future knowledge.
It's definitely cool. You get to see how other breweries, like how they're perceived publicly. Then you're like, oh, you get an inside look at their recipes and like how they're making stuff. And
I mean, I think the most interesting thing I found, I've heard it on podcasts before, a lot of the technical brewing podcasts about, like people are like, oh, it's okay if your pH is like 5.2.
Yeah.
But then like a lot of people were saying like, no, you should really have your pH below 5 for like certain flavors on like hazies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I got to see like different mineral ratios that people do for their contracts and like what they want, and actually be able to like taste that compared to like the stuff that we make.
Yeah.
It is actually
it expands your horizons. And it's like, because a lot of times, like, especially if you're brewing the same place for like 6 years, you just like, you're not that you're like drinking the Kool-Aid, like everyone's like kind of like talking the same thing. You kind of like, it's an easy way to break out and kind of try other stuff.
It's great, like, because the breweries are like, we want this pH here, and then we want this, mineral ratio here. So like we're so traditional, we do this one way, and then we see this other brewery that wants it done their way, and then I get to see the difference in the outcome, which it's great for me.
Yeah, exactly. Do like side by side tastings, like your recipes versus theirs, and kind of like then you can adjust from there. It's cool. Awesome. I guess, do you have anything else you want to say?
I should talk about our hop raffle.
Okay.
So with Pink Boots, this hop raffle from HVG out of Germany. Do not ask me what HVG stands for, because it's like Hopfen.
I think I asked somebody that.
And I feel terrible that I can't pronounce it. I know I've seen the word.
His name, so.
Okay. A croak, Philadelphia Pink Boots Society, when we were putting on a new pour, and he's like, hey, this hop company is like looking to expand like a little bit more into the US, and they kind of like want to offer this, especially with CBC being there, like, marketing and whatnot. It was a little late for us to really push it for CBC because we had to trying to do.
There's so many things.
There's so many, like, you can't call them certain words, so I don't want to use the wrong words here. So we're doing sort of like this hop raffle giveaway, sweepstakes, something like that.
Yeah.
We're doing this for to help raise money for Pink Boot Society, and it's through homebrewed events as well as BrewedAt, right?
Yep.
And it's Huel melon hops as well as Hallertau Middle Fry. I like Hallertau. We use a lot of Hallertau at Sly Fox. But there's 3 levels. So the first level is like what we're calling big brewery level, which is 8 boxes. So 44 pounds, 8 boxes. It's like right under $5,000 value, but it's only a $75 ticket for that. And then the level 2 is $55 for 4 boxes, I believe. 4 boxes. And those each have 2 winners per. So, and then the bottom level, we're considering like homebrew, small brewery level. There's 4 winners with that. That's $55, and the value is around a little under $500. So as far as like raffling it off, there is you guys have the link on for your BrewedAt and stuff?
Yeah, there are links on the website. You just go to the first page of the website. It's on there, and we'll attach it to the podcast as well.
Awesome. Okay. But getting a ticket through that, I mean, it's a great quality as far as like the money to quality. Like, it's a great quality. It's the bang for your buck, $75 to get $5,000 hops, like $5,000 worth of hops.
Everyone to realize, like, if you think you're paying too much for IPAs, and these are lager hops, just do the math on how much hops cost.
I think it's like 11. I think the Huel Melon's $11 per pound was listed on it. So it's a great quality.
Yeah.
Like $75, that's like 7 pounds of hops. And that's the highest level. That's 8 boxes of 44 pounds. So I think it's totally worth it. And it benefits a great cause. It helps put money back to Philly Pink Boots so we can hopefully fund more scholarships.
Then last thing as well, there's a referral program along with the raffle. So if you buy a ticket and you refer like 10 people, you get another free ticket. So
I don't know about that one.
There we go.
It's nice to know. Thank you.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. Let's move some hops.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I know we can plug all Sly Fox stuff, but are you pushing out stuff on your name, like your personal social media, or?
Yeah. So my Instagram, I have my private Instagram and my sort of like work Instagram, as I call it, which has kind of morphed into my only Instagram. Yeah. Josie Hawk Brewing. It's based on kind of my homebrew name, Josie for my first pet, and Hawk for I grew up on Hawk Mountain Road. Follow me there. I think I should just plug the goat races, even though they're almost a year away.
Plug the goat race.
By the way, the goat races, you guys put out some clip this year, the Saquon goat thing.
Yeah. Oh my God, Saquon Barkley, like, he liked it or like shared it or something. Yeah. And we were going nuts. We're like, we need to do something with this. And then we never did anything with it.
No, that was a great video. The goat races are so much fun. Yeah, it's like one of the you need to go to events at like Harvard.
I tell people, they're like, "What are the goat races?" I'm like, "It's exactly what it sounds like."
Yeah,
that first Sunday in May.
Yeah,
first Sunday in May. It's kind of a bummer for me because we're told like we get paid, but it's like you are not allowed to take off unless you're actively in labor or dead. Like that's kind of how they are. They're like everybody works the goat races, and so you pretty much come out to right next to Sly Fox Pottstown. Like they have a big field and we make a track where the goats run and they do multiple heats. So then people who sign up to race their goats, they'll run against like, I think it's like 6 goats. And then like 1 or 2 progresses to the next level, like to the next round until they do like a final running. And then the winning goat, we make a Maibach every year. And the winning goat gets the Maibach named after them. And it's just so much fun. There's so much beer. I know so many. I think the homebrew club that I know the homebrew club that I belong to, they get a bus and they make sure they get bussed in and out from there.
There's that. Can we give them a shout?
So it's the Keystone Homebrew.
I used to run Keystone Homebrew.
Oh, did you with Judy?
Yes.
Oh, I love Judy. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
But they get a bus and they bus in every year.
Cool.
And a lot of other people, it's like they take off the next day of work because they're like, yeah, I'm not going to make it to work. And like there's food, there's beer. It benefits Alex's lemonade stand. It benefits, they bring out dogs and it helps benefit like the SPCA. It's really funny to me. They bring out dogs every year and they almost all of them get adopted.
Really?
My coworker, he said he was working and he said that his wife adopted a dog.
I mean, you're getting these people that are like drinking all day. Like, do you want this little puppy?
Yeah, I want that puppy. Can I pet that dog? But then after, my favorite part is Alex Meixner, who rips on the accordion like it's nobody's business. He does the traditional stuff. The best polka ever is I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. That was great. But then when he starts ripping Crazy Train on the accordion, I lose my mind. It's my favorite. So yeah, goat races are awesome. First Sunday of May. I tell everybody you need to be there. It is so much fun. We sell like 4,000 tickets and we get close to, we either sell it every year or get close to selling.
We went when it was pouring rain 2 years ago and it was still completely electric.
It's so much fun because then the goats drag the people when they run.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part is watching the goats run and the people fall.
They're so fast. I mean, some of them are like so fast and then other ones will just like run halfway and then just stop or just like drag the person.
I still remember the name of it was like Sebastian, this one goat that was like a tank. The biggest goat by like far. But did nothing. Just like nothing.
The thing is, so my family owned pygmy goats. And they're the little guys. They're the wee little guys.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like every year they win. They are faster than your large meat and milk goats. It's the little guys that are the fastest ones. So not to tell anyone who enters a goat in the race, but make sure it's a pygmy goat.
Yeah.
Because Princess Jenny, I think, reigned for like 4 years. And she was a little pygmy goat.
Really? Yeah, I know Princess Jenny. Legend.
Cool legend.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on.
thanks for
That's been
having
very
me.
fun. This beer's amazing. And then you can follow us at BrewedAt, at the BrewedAt podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Thank you. 5 stars. Bye.